moves on from the Invictus final. It's these 23 men in green and gold who carry the hopes of South Africa over the next few weeks. It's two-time champion South Africa against Japan. Kick-off by the coast, just moments away. He was the man in the middle when the All Blacks beat South Africa at Ellis Park in Johannesburg just a few weeks ago. There is Luke Thompson in the second row today for the men in their traditional white and cherry hoop jerseys. Pat Lambie, chosen at fly half today, given his opportunity in the last match when South Africa, at least in part, atoned for that defeat at the hands of the Pumas down in Durban. The first time Argentina had ever beaten South Africa. It hasn't been the perfect preparation for them. There's the clearance kick from Ono. The first touch for Zane Kirchner. Kirchner, who plays his rugby these days at Leinster, feeds the ball out to Havana, inside to Berger. It's a fast start from the men in green and gold. There's Lambie, out to De Villiers. Here's the youngster Jesse Creel. It's the first time this particular 12 and 13 combination have ever played together, but there's the turn coming from Japan.
This is where Japan are dangerous. This is where they're dangerous. Turnovers, they certainly got speed in the back line.
Out to the wing there, Kotaro Matsushima. Matsushima, real flyer, was actually born in Pretoria. Spent a brief period down at the academy in Durban of the Sharks.
Willie's here.
It is a South African ball, fed up by De Jager. There's Pienaar, long out to Skulkberger, missing out Creel. Here's Mvubu. Many people's idea of the fastest man in this tournament. And there's the fella who just a few hours ago didn't think he was playing. Pieter-Steph du Toit. The first penalty goes the way of the South Africans.
Well, if this starts anything to go by, I think it's going to be quite an open game, to be fair. You want to see players like Mvubu get involved in the game. A 10.3 200-meter runner. Habana, we all know what he's capable of doing. And of course, Japan have got a couple of flies in this on their team as well. So a few turnovers to start, but both teams showing intent to play.
Well, that intent continuing. Pat Lambie, taking into account the angle, I guess that was 47, 48 metres. The temperature here, well, it's just about autumnal, 16 or 17 degrees. There's big Luc de Jager, two huge second rows here for South Africa. Luc de Jager, originally from the southern suburbs of Johannesburg. Luke Thompson, a man originally of New Zealand. They go to Victor Matfield. There's De Villiers. De Villiers coming into this match just 4 hours of rugby this year. The cry of the beast. Well, he's turned. Great work there from Broadhurst.
They win the ball.
So a second turnover for the Brave Blossoms. There's Tanaka. And the clearance from Ono, rather off the side of the boot.
Yeah, well, again, another turnover. It just shows, you know, South Africa seem a little bit jittery, seem a bit nervous.
Keep the line, please.
We all know that this fella's a strong guy, but he just gets the ball ripped off him quite easily there.
There's the beast Mtuera. Man born in Harare. earning today his 69th cap in the green and gold. Straight over the top to Francois Lowe. There's de Villiers again. Well, as is typical of one of the great warriors of world rugby, his international career has really just been a catalogue of injuries after injury. There's Pienaar. De Jager. The tackle from Thompson. It's there again for Pienaar. They're playing at tempo here, the South Africans. Victor Matfield. Berger. Well, they're making their hits, the Japanese.
They're certainly, you know, working de Villiers. He's had 3 carries in the last minute, so he seems to be fit, seems to be working well.
Well, again, a turnover from Japan, but the kick is deflected. And the clearance coming in from the fly half. Oh no. Well, the game has been played in this bottom third of the field, Japan's bottom third, but there are 1 or 2 encouraging signs.
Yeah, well, Japan are playing most of their rugby in their own 22, however, you know, they're defending very well. 2 or 3 turnovers now in the first 4 minutes of the game. Just shows their intent. They're ready to be as physical as South Africa and give it a go. I think they'll want to get out of their own 22 now and perhaps play in the South African second half.
Well, one of the endearing qualities of this tournament is our professionalism, as perhaps epitomised by England and South Africa. Occasionally meets the pre-1995 amateur values of the sport. Last night, they ate at a fish and chip shop on the waterfront, on the seafront in Brighton. On the adjacent table, the men wearing 9 and 11 for Japan today. Fish and chip supper before the big game. What do you reckon of that, Sean?
Well, you've got to carb up. You've got to carb up, Martin, I think. There's not many fish and chips in Tokyo, I can tell you. I couldn't find any anyway. So, yeah, when in Rome.
Well, here is Fumiya Tanaka from the Panasonic Wild Knights. He was the first Japanese player to play in Super Rugby. Pressure there from the South African pack, but quick ball. Driving forward, there was Tatakawa. Another carry forward, that time from Henrik Tui. They will play with pace and play with tempo. And there's a great break. Well, fullback on fullback, Godemaru, one of the outstanding players in this Japan side. There goes Thompson. And Japan get themselves the penalty.
Just goes to show exactly what they're capable of doing. Creating mismatches. We had, you know, almost the front row of South Africa on the left-hand side there. And Guramu looked for the hole, went for the gap. I think the pass was on to Yamada there. He should have gone for it. He was in 2 minds and got creamed you know, for the sake of it. But good start by Japan.
Well, that was a solid hit, wasn't it? 15 on 15. Zane Kirshner standing up, taking his man. Godemaru has dusted himself down. Called for the kicking too. Well, we talk about the experience of this South Africa 15 as we see Eddie Jones. This will be his last campaign in charge of the Japanese national team. Plenty of speculation about where he might be moving on. Japan will have a Super Rugby franchise next season, but he is being linked, ironically, with a move to Cape Town to take charge of the Stormers.
Yeah, it's a strange road for Eddie. I think he's done a remarkable job in Japan, not only with the national side, but he's been involved with the top league as well. And you can see that they are a side that is progressing. They'll be a far stronger squad than they were 4 years ago, and they'll expect to win some games here in the World Cup, and a lot of that's down to Eddie Jones.
Godemaru opens the scoring. Godemaru made his Test debut a decade ago, but this is his first match in the World Cup.
Opening the scoring with a penalty for Japan, number 15, Godemaru.
Well, I know that the South African rugby mantra is about home ground advantage. They're making a lot of it. And there are an awful lot of South Africans in the UK, 1 or 2 have flown north for the next couple of weeks. And I have to say that the majority of the colours around this stadium are green and gold. But there was quite a buzz after that success from the fullback. Pinar hoists it. Here's Goromaru. Looking down the tram lines.
A lot of neutrals here as well that'll be enjoying the game. I've got a Welsh lad behind me who seems to be cheering for both teams. So that's the World Cup for you. That's the magic.
Good catch under pressure from Michael Leach, the captain. He's one of the stars of this Japan team. Ono stepping, coming back into the traffic.
Away.
Once again, South Africa not getting away from the attack. They're taken quickly by Tanaka. Little pass out of the back of the hand. Here is So. Bismarck du Plessis, Brian Habana. Bring him down eventually. There's Tanaka, the scrum half. Ono. Thompson. And Tawira. Just got a hold of a bootlace. Tanaka looping around. Well, you have to admire the pace and tempo at which Japan are playing. Another penalty.
Incredible rugby by Japan. They're shifting the ball out of the tackle and they're really causing problems for the South African defence. Hence the poor discipline, I think.
Well, there's Shota Horie there with a neat little pass out of the back of the hand. He is another of the more experienced players in this Japan side. Spent a couple of seasons at the Melbourne Rebels. Enforcing the offside call again from Jerome Garces, and it's the speed, it's the tempo that they're playing at which is causing that. An alteration being forced here by Japan. On comes Hiroshi Yamashita. That's Kensuke Kayama going off. That's a Kayama who's played more games at tight head for Japan than anyone, so that's a change they wouldn't have liked to make at such an early stage.
I think what Japan are doing well is they're looking for the mismatches. They're looking for the likes of Schalkberger, Matawara in the centre there, and they're sending players like Goromaru, Yamadu, Sao to run at their shoulders, create offloads, and really stretch the South African defence. And very impressive with the first 10 minutes. Just, you know, Japan could easily say they're the best team so far.
Well, Goromaru, 3 points in his World Cup career history, but 653 over the course of 53 test matches for Japan. Can he make it 656? Well, he snapped at that a little bit. It's the nervous hook.
No.
That's 3 that got away.
Yeah, it's definitely 3 that got away. That kick was in a perfect location for him on his right foot. You know, it's bread and butter for him all day long.
Lambi with the restart, and Bobo, good catch, brave. Challenge there by Malisau. Here's Ruan Pinar of Ulster. That noise you can hear is the beast on Tuera. Lambi. De Jager, 6'8" of him. Here's Pat Lambi. Fly half was one of the calls that Heineke Meyer had to make today. Mornay Steyn, the most experienced of the 10s in the Springbok squad. Andre Pollard, the star of the Junior World Championship just 15 months ago. But I think those 2 test matches against Argentina were decisive in making his calls. Pollard started against the Pumas in the defeat in Durban, and then it was Lambi who got the call for the reverse fixture. But here is a basic unforced error from Zane Kirshner. Now, many times we'll get away with that, won't he? But he didn't then.
No, I think there's enough cameras here today to you don't get away with much in the World Cup, that's for sure. But it's such a positive start by Japan, and South Africa now will want to get out to their own half without conceding any points. They've just got away with a 3-pointer, and it's certainly Japan on the front foot.
A carry there from Henrik Tui. Accurate throw on the line out as well from Horie. There's Ono. Straight into Pat Lambi, his opposite number. But they're really asking questions here, the Japanese. And the one thing that Eddie Jones, when it's been turned, vital turnover for the men in green and gold. Matt Field. Misses out Francois Lowe. There's the clearance from de Villiers. But the box are rattled.
They're definitely rattled. There's no structure in their game at the moment. There's certainly good turnover by Schalkberger. However, they're still playing their rugby in their own half. A couple of poor kicks, and Japan are on the front foot.
Well, there you can see the turnovers. 5 already in the match. Taken forward by Tata Kaiawa. Another tackle from Pat Lambie. There goes Tanaka. Not too many numbers out there. The little stab through. That's meant for Matsushima to chase. They followed through with a big hit on Kirshner. The ball's still alive. The space over this side. Across comes Pat Lambie. Lambie's played a lot of his rugby at fullback. Tries to improve the angle. Good clearance from an Italian. Quick throw in. We were promised plenty of those as well yesterday. The idea good from Leach, perhaps not the execution.
Well, you can see Japan's intent. They want to play with tempo. They're taking quick tap penalties, quick line-outs, and they really want to run South Africa around this park. And so far, that's what they're doing, and it's working. It's rattled South Africa. They're making a lot of mistakes, South Africa are, and Japan are on the front foot.
Avoiding scrummages, I think, is something also that Eddie Jones will be looking for. He's done pretty well so far. Heineke Meyer, much to ponder. Ludiaga plucks it out of the salty sea air, but Jerome Garces has blown his whistle. It's a penalty to South Africa.
De Villiers needs to steady the ship now. They look rattled. They're certainly making a lot of mistakes. They've got a penalty here now, just in their own half. Be a good opportunity to get a line out close to the 22 of Japan, steady the ship, and get some points on the board.
10 of this South Africa starting 15, 30 or more. I know we talk about the experience, 851 caps in the starting 15. That was reduced after the injury forced out Willem Alberts this morning. Alberts, who was taken lame at the captain's run, the final training session on the pitch last night. He finally made that call this morning, though. There's Pinard. De Villiers steps off his right foot. Good tackle from Ono, the fly half. There's Bismarck du Plessis driving forward, making a couple of metres for South Africa. Victor Matfield. Schalkberger. Always uncompromising. Lambie. In comes De Villiers again. Dumped to the ground. Du Plessis hands off to his brother. Oh, and that was just a little bit too flash. Zane Kirshner have done well to keep it alive. Here's Ruben Pinard. Kirshner played scrum half. Back from Berger. Lambie. Another carry from Bismarck up to the 22.
A bit of patience needed by South Africa. They are stretching the Japanese defence. It's just ball keep that's needed now.
Well, they're not missing many, are they, the Japanese? There's Jesse Creel, the youngster. Ludiaga tries to get the long limbs going. Henrik Tui straight over the ball, but it is illegal.
I think it's time for a South African 3 points here. Just get points on the board.
Yes, Jerome. I want to put on the big screen the tackle.
Okay. Well, Jerome Garces has just asked to see the tackle from what seems about 3 or 4 phases ago. We might be looking at that in a couple of moments' time as we see Jean de Villiers. That's the one. What do you make of that, Shane?
I think he gets tackled really low initially, and I think the assist and the tackle then tips him over. I don't see any intent in it.
Jerome, have you seen it yet on the screen? Yeah. My feeling, the number 12 jumped, no? What do you think?
The tackle that you just showed.
Yes. The green player actually jumps into the tackle, which doesn't actually help. Okay, so what's your recommendation? It's actually nothing. I would actually just carry on. Yes. Okay?
Yeah. Bit of North Country bluntness there from Graham Hughes.
Nothing.
He's the television match official this afternoon.
Like this because you jump. Yeah. And when you jump, okay.
I think the trait of the Japanese is that they do tackle very low anyway. Yeah, De Villiers jumps there, and I think his momentum spins him round. It looks nastier than what it was, but he's certainly testing that knee today. It looks okay. He's had more carries than anyone else in the South Africa team so far, so that's good news for him.
Well, when I saw Jean De Villiers last night at training, I thought he was cutting a very slim figure. After breaking that jaw during the match against Argentina in Durban, he's had the jaw wired up. Apparently, he's lost 6 kilos. Here's the drive from South Africa, which they do so well. Francois Lowe has the ball tucked under his arm. They're over the line. They've got the try. In the end, the ruthless efficiency of this green and gold machine is told.
Try scorer for South Africa, number 6, Francois Lowe.
This area, the drive maul is where South Africa are very good. They've got a big pack, they control it very well. They've got patience, they build, and they crawl it over the line. This is an area in which I think Japan will struggle to cope with in South Africa, and it is an area in which South Africa are going to have to use a little bit more often.
Well, Francois Lowe, a man who makes his home these days in the West Country of England, a real star at the Bath Club. Pat Lambie. Seems like he's been around for an age, but he's still just 24, is Lambie. Lambie on beam from the start.
This is an interesting 5 minutes now for South Africa. They've got the ascendancy. They need to cut the mistakes out, get on the front foot, and just keep doing what they've just done. A simple line-up catch, 5 yards out, walk the ball over the try line. More to come from that from South Africa, I see.
Ruben Pienaar almost playing the additional loose forward there. Oh, the little improvised restart, well read by South Africa. Pienaar, who is in the mould of a Mike Phillips, isn't he, physically?
Yeah, same stature, both very physical nines. Don't mind mixing it with the big boys, that's for sure. But he's been fantastic for South Africa over the years, and Ulster, he's been the form player for Ulster over the last 4 seasons.
Yes, his father could play a bit as well. Hasey Pienaar played 13 times with the Springboks at fullback, scored a try against the British Lions, the British and Irish Lions, I should say, in 1980. That Lions side included a certain C. Woodward. There it is for the scrum half. Tanaka. And it's the first setback for Japan in the first quarter of this match. Good clearance. Yes, Goromaru, he can certainly hold his own on this sort of stage.
Red on the line, please.
He's had a steady game so far, good kicking game. He's just made 30-40 yards there for Japan, took the pressure off a little bit.
Bismarck du Plessis recently engaged. Two-handed take from Matfield. Pienaar down to De Villiers. There's Scott Burger. Pienaar, Matfield. The offload to Pienaar. Suddenly you get a sense these Springboks are playing with a good deal of confidence. The nerves have been settled. Matawira meeting Michael Leach. The high ball from Lambie. Habana gets a palm to knock it back. Claimed by Krill, or Kirshner, I should say. There's Berger again. Well read, the loop round from the fly half. And Tawira, De Villiers.
There's a spring in their step at the moment. Playing with confidence, keeping ball, easy play, get in the yards, 2 yards by 2 yards, they get in there.
There's Detroit. Africa. Bismarck du Plessis with the support of Matfield. There's Lowe, the try scorer. The momentum building here for South Africa. Lambie. South Africa repelled that time. Here he goes.
It's a great angle by Detroit.
Pinner, Matfield, Berger. Taken on again, they're edging their way towards the post. Pinner, Lambie, Yanni du Plessis, has he got it down?
No, they've got the ball back, they got about...
Pinner, oh, and this time Bismarck du Plessis. Well, for a moment, we thought it was Yanni, then it looked like Bismarck. Take your pick. One of two du Plessis may well have touched it down.
Yes or no?
I have no idea what happened there. That's another one butchered there, I think. It could have been one of 5 players to score that one, so I think it was a knock-on.
3 green.
By Sharkberger.
Well, he's asking about Yanni du Plessis first of all, so it's big brother first, then little brother. Although I put little inside inverted commas.
Oh. Well, I don't think neither of them scored.
Jerome?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lost forward. Scrum 5, red ball.
Good try.
So it's neither of the du Plessis.
No penalty, safety, no penalty.
That's the second one butchered now, I think.
Stability, guys. Stability.
There's Henneke Meyer, who had a brief spell at Leicester. His family couldn't settle in the East Midlands of England, and he returned home. And eventually got his chance to take the job, which he thought in many respects should have been his a few years earlier.
7.
But he is a man under pressure. It has been the worst season so far.
No ball, guys.
Since South Africa's return to international competition, all those 2 test matches back in 1992, special occasions at Spark and Newlands, New Zealand and Australia. But South Africa come here with just 1 win in 2015.
Don't ask me every time. Once is enough.
Well, we have a scrummage.
Crouch.
Something that has been missing until now. Tanaka with the put-in. Well,
You tried to put the
the
pressure.
first decision goes the way, and I chatted to Eddie Jones yesterday, and he said he would try and have a word with Jerome Garces, because he knew that the problems would come from Yanni du Plessis over on the tight head side. He said Garces must ensure that Yanni du Plessis is not allowed to referee the match. He said Yanni knows how to talk.
Well, he's not wrong there, but you can see the South African intent. They want an early push, and complete opposite in contrast. Japan just want to get the ball in quick channel to number 8, because they're not going to be able to compete in an arm wrestle in the scrum. So that's the reason for the penalty there.
The big paw of Matfield gets in. The pass there from Pinner, hit forward, more than a hit.
4 pass. In the line.
There's JP Doyle, one of the assistants. JP, one of the premier referees in the Aviva
Long
Premiership.
line, not on the arm.
The other assistant over on this side, Federico Anselmi, himself an assistant referee who I reckon we might well see in the middle when we get to the next World Cup. Anselmi, who took charge of the Junior World Championship final in Auckland 15 months ago, when England beat the Springboks by, or the Junior Boks, by just a single point. A match in which Jesse Creel scored 2 tries.
Great attacking area here, middle of the field scrum, options both sides. Unfortunately, going back in the scrum and they haven't got the platform to play from.
Well, that is why Eddie Jones wants to avoid the set piece. Hendrick too did very well to recover it. There is Tanaka. Thompson. It is the scrum half again, Tanaka. Oh no. There's a break in the middle from Tatakawa. He's the player who came in yesterday for Craig Wing, the four-time NRL winner in league in Australia. He had a calf twinge, or has been having calf twinges. Was pulled out yesterday, same injury did for Willem Alberts this morning. It is a Japan ball. The referee playing an advantage here.
Advantage again.
Another advantage here for Japan. The ball chipped through. Kirshner couldn't gather it, and Bobo does. We're going to come back then.
Over the ruck. The ruck is formed.
Well, Japan again putting South Africa under pressure. Receiving more penalties. You know, this is what South Africa want. Guramaro just having a quick look to see if the 3 points is in his range. I think it's perhaps just out the way. He needs to try and get into the South African 22.
Here is Eddie Jones, who had more than a hand on South Africa's World Cup triumph in 2007. He was Jake White's assistant. And there were many people down in South Africa who thought that the influence of Eddie Jones is what ultimately made the difference to that squad. Not wishing to detract at all from the achievements of Jake White, but they were quite a combo. Poirier wastes no time. It's Leach who has it. It's now with Hanakayama. An opportunity here for the Brave Blossoms. It's now with Tui.
Well, Japan got 12 players in. 12 players in there.
Well, they thought for a moment they'd scored, but Garces comes back for the penalty. And look at that, Tui grabbing hold of the ball, holding it onto the line. He's doing whatever he can to persuade the referee.
It doesn't matter how long he lies there with the ball. I don't think they're going to give him the try.
Want to check?
Well, this might be worth a listen.
More.
Well, it's another one for Graham Hughes.
Yeah, try yes or no.
From the original maul?
Sorry?
From the original maul.
Yeah, okay. I'll have a look about if there is one or two players in front of the ball carrier.
Okay.
But they're also going to check the positioning of the players in that driving maul as well.
Yeah, well, you know, it's discipline. If it's not a try, it's a penalty again. And I'm sure they'll be looking at a card very soon if they keep consistently infringing in these areas. Japan done really well there, put 12 players in the ruck eventually. They did get over the line, but has he managed to dab the ball down?
Now it's in the hands of Tui. Let's see if he gets it down. We can see the ball there.
He's got the ball on the ground. Has he got it on the whitewash?
Shades of Twickenham last night. What do you make of that, Shane?
You put me on the spot now. He's obviously got the ball on the ground. Is it just short of the white line? I don't know. I'd give them a try anyway. They've been playing well. They deserve it.
I think we should remind our viewers you spent the last 3 seasons playing in Japan.
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased, I suppose.
Well, Graham Hughes, who doesn't mess about, is asking for a number of angles here. He does have everything available to him these days. The new Hawkeye system lets him see pictures immediately. That intended to speed up decisions like that, but The TMOs, the officials, the players, they want to get things right. They're going to make sure they're precise with this one.
I think Dutoit as well gets on the ground, has a little push, pushes the ball back as well.
You're short on the grounding, so you're back for your original penalty for the collapse maul.
Okay.
Okay.
About my first question.
No, they're fine. They were all
we
bound.
can referee a maul, but the ball don't touch the line, so I come back to the penalty against Green.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, Shane, you and Mr. Hughes singing off the same hymn sheet. That's Michael Leach standing over the ball. Man had moved to Japan when he was 15, now finds himself back in New Zealand, excelling for the Chiefs in Super Rugby. Well, we're going to go for another catch and drive.
He's been great for Japan over the years, great ambassador to the team, great ambassador to Japan Rugby, and a great player, hence the reason he's played for the Chiefs as well. I think it's same, much of a muchness here. It's going to be pretty much the same, I think.
Nice shot to Horie. Goes to Thompson again. Here's the drive. The South Africans knew what was coming. Look there at Tatakawa, the centre, putting his shoulder to it. Every available body is there for Japan. It's a test of muscle, and this time they have got it down.
To be fair, they've deserved that.
And when he gets to his feet, I think it's Michael Leach, the captain. There he is. What a moment for the captain.
Well, the 12-man driving maul certainly seems to be working for Japan at the moment. You know, they've just inches short just now. This time, kept it together, got the centres in there, pushed, and Leach gets over to score the try, deservedly so. They've been playing exceptionally well. And they're putting this Springbok team under a lot of pressure.
He's a canny operator, isn't he, Eddie Jones?
I'm sure Borthwick would claim that move.
Yeah, Steve Borthwick. Well, his commitment to the cause, Steve Borthwick. His last game of rugby, the Premiership final, 18 months ago. Goramaru almost kisses the upright as it goes through. Well, they'll be kissing the ball if they can get through 80 minutes. And the scores are something like this. The Michael Leach. What a special moment. Yes, Steve Borthwick, I was saying, his last game of rugby was the Aviva Premiership final 18 months ago, 2014, when Saracens were beaten by Northampton. 10:30 the following morning, Borthwick was on a flight to Canada to join the Japan squad and start his job full-time. He's actually moved his family for the last 18 months or so over to Tokyo. Like Eddie Jones, this will be his last campaign, though. If we believe what we read in the papers, Borthwick will be taking up a role at Bristol next season, but, well, that's almost a cardinal sin, isn't it? Virtually from the restart, penalty conceded by Japan.
Soft penalty to concede as well, I think offside from the kick there. You know, certainly a doable 3 points to put a level peg in, but it's probably true reflection on the game, really. Oh, he's going for touch.
Well, with a possible exception of New Zealand, no country's mood hangs quite as much on the fortunes of its national rugby team than it does in South Africa. There might be quite a lot of dog walking at half-time if in the suburbs and the Jacaranda streets of Johannesburg and Pretoria. But this is how it is at half-time. Worrying period here for the Boks. But du Plessis has it. of the Bismarck variety, driving on here. Bismarck Duplessis up and over the line. And Jerome Garces points his hand to the skies, and the response from the green and gold is almost immediate. The error from the restart, the penalty, and Heineke Meyer will feel a little better now.
It was almost inevitable as soon as Matfield got that rolling. You can see the Japanese players coming in from the side.
Water, please.
Broadhurst coming there, could easily have been a penalty try if the try wasn't conceded.
Water.
Big pressure now, and it's an important time for South Africa. They really need to get an ascendancy here because Japan are doing really well.
Yes, Bismarck Duplessis, born in Bethlehem in the Free State. Something of a saviour of a kind for the followers of the green and gold. Lambie, well, he's drawn it round, but strays wide. Well, for the second time, they've got the field position, they've played the power game, and they have been unstoppable.
Yeah, and I think that's, you know, what South Africa need to do. They need to be playing their rugby in Japan's 22. We've seen every time they've had a rolling maul, it's been effective, and they've come away with points, and that's what they need to do.
And Volvo with the catch.
Inside.
Kinner to Skalkberger. Clearance from Lambie, and I think that might have been taken in by Matsushima on the far side. Indeed it was.
No, 14. Calm down. Speak.
Bismarck Duplessis.
Important 5 minutes here for Japan. I think if they can keep South Africa off the score sheet for the next 5 minutes, go into half-time, they'll be very happy with their performance.
Pinard.
Sorry.
Matfield. Francois Lowe, scorer of the first try. Ludwig Jager. It has been a long bursting first 40 minutes. 35, almost 36 to be precise.
I think Japan as well will be able to keep up this tempo and this pressure for 80 minutes. You know, there's a couple of older players in that South African team, the Matfields, de Villiers. Will they be able to keep this pressure going and play at this tempo?
Collected there by Jesse Krill. Great step from the centre. Important tackle as well. That came in from Hitoshi Ono. Hitoshi Ono, the oldest man on the Japan side at 37. Lambie takes the aerial route. Oh, the referee's let that one go. Michael Broadhurst standing over it. Ono with a clearance kick. Turns Zane Kirshner. Being rather more deliberate there, Kirshner, to stay inside his 22.
I think if Kirshner would have looked to his left, he had Mavovo and quite a poor Japanese chase there, who certainly has to be made. However, a little bit sketchy, a little bit worried about making mistakes at the moment, South Africa. And the reason they're 12-10 up is because they're not trying things, they're playing very conservative.
St. Kirshner select ahead of Billy LaRue today.
first cone is green. The first is green, the second is red.
So, 2 knock-ons, the first one coming off a South Africa hand. There is Luke Thompson, plays for the Kintetsu Liners, running his 59th cap, a player who started his career in Canterbury at Christchurch, one of the great cradles of world rugby. Michael Broadhurst wearing 7 here. The one member of the Broadhurst family has already tasted victory against the Springboks in 2015. Michael's younger brother James made his debut for the All Blacks when he started at lock in the one at Ellis Park in July. Tui again, they have to get that ball out of the scrum quickly. You could see they were backpedaling already, the Japanese. There's Tanaka, the scrum half. Oh no, the fly half. Kirshner barely had to move. Last 90 seconds of the first 40. And wait for Goromaru, calls the mark.
Goromaru's a really good full-back, great positioning on the field, he's a good kicker, we've seen that already. But he works hard there with the 2 wingers. Very rarely misses a high ball, and he's steadying the ship at the moment for Japan, and I think Eddie Jones now will be really happy going into the half-time change rooms now, 12-10. Still got a minute to go, still a lot of pressure to sustain, but he'd be very happy with the performance.
Thank you.
And Japan know they just have to keep going. They have to keep trying to stretch, move the ball around, move the big fellas around, tire some of those aging legs. Plucked out of the air there by De Toy. Berger, Lampy, Kirshner in the line. Steps, he's held up by So. South Africa looking to create a bit of daylight on the scoreboard before half-time. De Villiers, Bismarck du Plessis, such a key player for South Africa. Pienaar, there's Francois Lowe. Tatakawa holds on to him. Pienaar again, Yanni du Plessis. Horrier adds 1 to his tackle count for the afternoon. De Toy.
Japan defended very cleverly at the moment, not putting anyone to contest in the ruck, which means that they've got a full defensive back line. There's no overlaps.
We're into the red numbers. They need to keep on making those tackles, force South Africa into the error. And Tuera. Berger. Really low tackle there from Leach, the captain. De Villiers taken down. Tatakawa, you could see Jerome Garces have a long look at that tackle. Taken on by De Toy. Bismarck. Not often he gets knocked backwards.
That's great defence by Japan, and they've turned the ball over. Great defence.
Well, this in itself, a minor victory for Japan. The ball's into touch. It's half-time. Eddie Jones, plenty to cheer. And you'd have to say, Shane, concerns for Heineke Meyer.
Great performance. You keep talking about the performance by Japan. South Africa's
Shane Martin.
Well, thanks, fellas. It would be slightly overstating it to say that the last 15 minutes we've seen beneath us the first crisis meeting for a Tier 1 nation at this Rugby World Cup. But it certainly sets things up for the last 40. And as they have done over the course of the first half of this match, Japan just trying something a little different. And there is the first error made by a Springbok in the second 40. Pat Lambie can only smile. He must be slightly embarrassed. I guess, Shane, if we're looking at some encouragement for South Africa, you look at the statistics, 76 tackles made by Japan in the first 40 minutes. Now, that is almost what? one every 30-odd seconds, and we consider how much time the ball is out of play, surely that is going to have an impact on Japan at some point.
Yeah, of course, and they, South Africa have got 67% possession as well, so hence, of course, Japan are going to make more tackles. However, it's about what you do when you've got the ball, how efficient you are when you've got the ball. And they're only 2 points up, so that means to me they've been working hard and not getting the results, and that's why Japan are only 2 points behind South Africa at the moment. So stats can mislead you a little bit sometimes.
Well, South Africa coming offside. And in the moment, we can reasonably expect to see Japan go ahead on the scoreboard. Well, it's yet to be seismic, but you're getting a sense that the tectonic plates of world rugby are just shifting a little bit beneath Brighton.
No, it's fine. Very fine.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Look, it's been a great game so far. You expect South Africa to go on and win this game. However, like I said before, Japan are a very good side. They progressed a lot in 4 years. Eddie Jones done a great job with them, and they certainly don't lack confidence. And if South Africa, are going to give penalties away in these areas and play their own rugby in their own half, then Japan are going to stay with them right to the end, and this could put Japan in the lead.
Well, it's not the first time South Africa's World Cup has kicked off in Brighton. 16 years ago, it's where the Proteas started their World Cup cricket campaign. They won that day and played like champions all the way to Birmingham, where they imploded in the semi-final against Australia. Many people who are listening or watching will remember that match. Worth reminding us that this South Africa team, their next stop in the World Cup, next weekend, Birmingham against Samoa. But Ayuma Goromaru, if he has anything to do with it, well, the South African cricketers Edgbaston in 1999 will be the community ground in Brighton in 2015. Japan are in front. The fact that Eddie Jones is now unmoved suggests that he is starting to believe. He celebrated the try, perhaps thinking maybe there wouldn't be too many more opportunities this afternoon to punch his fists. Now, maybe, just maybe, he's sensing one of 3 great shocks in sport might be upon us. Lambie sparked into action, the tackle was high. There's Pinar. Diarra storming through. There's a chance here for the box. They've got the try. Diarra.
What an angle. Completely against the grain of the Japanese defence. Makes it difficult on an inside shoulder tackle. Went through untouched. He'd have scored a try in touch rugby there, fair play. Good turn of pace as well. He's a big guy, long stride, and it's very difficult there for Arnold to get him over the line.
Well, there's one thing that's happened in rugby in the last 20 years. Locks like this can really canter, they can sprint. Kobus Wiese, World Cup winner 20 years ago with Francois Pinar, is in the ground today. Even in Kobus's pomp, I can't remember him sprinting quite like that.
Not quite. That's exactly what South Africa needed, really. Against the grain of play. 7 points, and that could be a turning point in this game. You get a South African with their backs up, they're certainly going to be difficult to beat, and this has certainly helped their cause.
The Springbok is a wounded beast. Diarra, just 22, 6'9". Striding out like Usain Bolt. An alteration being made. Off goes Hendrik Tui. He's a loss. One of the most influential players for the spray blossoms. On comes Amanaki Mafi, and originally from Tonga.
Mafi is a very physical player. He's an impact player. You certainly see him get stuck into these South Africans early on.
Berger showing all his experience there just to hold back the offload. Garimaru, the fullback. Here is the new man, Mafi. Oh, straight into du Plessis. Well, you said he's an impact player.
That's exactly what he does.
Yanni
exactly
du Plessis will vouch for that. The captain, Leach, through 2 tackles. Eventually taken down by du Toit. Well, you can hit these Japanese players to the ground, but they just get straight up, dust themselves down, and get back to work. Tanaka, Thompson, oh no, Leach, the try scorer, the most recent try scorer. The Yaga held on to him. There it is for Tanaka again. Tatakawa, the replacement yesterday for Craig Wing. Just 6 points the lead.
No, 12!
Here's Satoshi Ono. Ono earning his 95th cap today.
No way!
du Plessis got to get himself out of there.
No
it's a penalty.
No way! You cannot stay here.
But after that try, Japan will have recognised they had to get the next score.
Yeah, and their approach is exactly what Eddie Jones would have wanted. You know, they've conceded that try, poor tackle to allow Jaeger to go through and score. But they've remained positive. They've got back into South Africa's half, played a bit out, brought Mafi on. He's made a sudden impact, very physical, broken 2 or 3 tackles already, and they've got a 3-point opportunity here now. So, good character by Japan, and that's what they need to stay with the South Africans.
There's Bismarck du Plessis, playing in his 3rd World Cup. The majority of his appearances at World Cups have been as a replacement. He's the most capped South African hooker behind John Smith, which is why du Plessis has spent so much time on the bench at previous World Cups.
Just looking at the stats here now as well, and South Africa have given away 7 penalties. 5 of those are in their own half. So, you know, that's 15 points to the good goal kicker. They can't afford to do that. And when you play in the bigger teams, 15 points is a lot of points to concede.
Garimaru holds his nerve. They trail now by 3. Satoshi Ono just got enough of that, but it's come back the way of South Africa. Fed up by Bismarck du Plessis. There's Skultberger on the Pat Lambie. Bit of space here for de Villiers, who straightens up. Huge hit there in midfield. Was Garimaru, the fullback. There's Lutayaga, takes play inside the Japanese 22. Pienaar, the beast on Tuera. Ruben Pienaar. Lambie. Well, the dummy wasn't bought by Michael Leach. Tuera again. Jethro Steenkamp wore 1 rather more often in New Zealand 4 years ago than Tuera. And the ball is spilled forward. Chance to counter here. The heavy boot forward. Zane Kirshner comes across. Well, they forced the error from South Africa. And then they made 60 or 70 metres. And it's the little fella, Fumiaka Tanaka, who is less than half the weight of the biggest man at this tournament, Winnie Antonio, the tight head prop for France.
Well, yeah, that just goes to show with all the stats and all the metres made and possession, and then you make 1 little turnover, Schackberger this time, and they lose 60 metres. So, and it takes it out of you when you've got the ball again, you're making mistakes. Fitness levels, you're really pushing yourself, and when you find yourself having to run back 60 metres to chase a kick, it does take its toll, especially on the older fellas.
Green one. There is a lot of players in front of the ball carrier. The ball from. No, I'm not sure. I had a goal time. Okay, if I make a mistake, sorry. Okay, to make sure.
Jerome Garces, they're saying a lot of players in front of the ball carrier. Can you explain that to us, Shane?
Pass the ball. Perhaps I'm right,
well, I think
I'm wrong. If I'm wrong,
I'm not sure what he's on about. If he's on about from the kick and players not actually trying to get back on side, I'm not sure.
Well, Victor Matfield wasn't entirely happy.
Oh, from the line out, sorry, yeah. Matthew's carrying the ball and there were players actually in front of him, almost like clearing a passage for him, and I think that's what Mayer was speaking about. Sorry, not Mayer. Gassi was speaking about there.
This Japan front row packs as low as it can afford to. The shoulders must remain above the hips for the likes of Sataka Mikami, Kensuke Hatakayama, who want to get under their opposite numbers.
I think Matthew will be looking to carry this one up. Quick ball from the scrum.
Look at the way he's looking in there and a quick strike. Well, you know that Eddie Jones has done his homework here. Tanaka. The drive on from Thompson, swung to the ground by Berger. Urgency from both sides. Look at the speed here from Japan. Driven forward by Hatakayama. Tanaka. Oh no! Carried on that time by Murphy. He's certainly making an impact, the replacement. Another penalty to Japan.
Again, it's inconceivable to give a penalty right in front of the post of the gap. This is the 6th one in their own half.
It's Graham, you need to have a quick word with Green 8 as well about the neck. Okay?
There are problems coming here, perhaps, for South Africa. It's that challenge from Skoltberger. It's high. That's the one we're looking at. 8. Now, there could be problems here for Berger. That's the voice of Graham Hughes pointing out this or pointing this out to Jerome Garces. And player welfare, top of the list of priorities for referees and officials here. This will be worth a listen. Well, certainly Godemaru is going to attempt to kick the points first.
Well, you'd never say that Japan have just played 50 minutes of rugby against South Africa. They look as fresh now as they were at the start.
Well, it would appear that Jerome Garces has blown his whistle now. We're just getting 1 or 2 replacements. It's all change in the front row. New props are on. Trevor Nyakani's on. Kuni Oosthuizen. On at hooker, Adrian Strauss. Well, I was expecting a word there from Jerome Garces with Skoltberger. He may have had a quiet chat in his shell-like, but nothing formal. Godemaru clears the ball.
On the line, please.
They want to clear their lines here, Japan. This is where South Africa are really dangerous. You know, we've seen the tries from the rolling ball so far. There's no reason to believe they're not going to do it again here.
Trevor Nyakani there, the blue ball. The Springbok, well, the line out without blemish, almost was there. Here's Berger. Adrian Strauss straight into the match. Lambie. Kirshner. Little chip over the top. Godemaru catches it, pulls the mark. No time wasted. Lambie's backpedaling. Pinar. Here's Mbobo, who can really fly. He's a 10.3 man for the 100 metres. But that was quite a tackle coming in from Yamada.
I don't think Yamada was going to give him a run up there. He knows how quick he is, and certainly probably wouldn't catch him from behind.
Berger out of the back of the hand to Niakani. Oosthuizen was on his shoulder. The two new props there in tandem. 25 minutes remain. You don't have to wipe your eyes. It's almost up to the hour, and it's all tied up. Penalty to South Africa.
I think we just saw Brian Habana with probably his first touch of the game. That just sums up really what's been happening with South Africa. Maboko, Habana and Kirshner haven't been involved at all, and these are your danger men. You want to get involved. You want these players to get 15 plus touches a game because of these little point scorers, but they just haven't been able to get the ball done today.
Well, there's no doubt that every neutral in this ground is now a follower of the Brave Blossoms.
Our front line goes up in the line-out. They got complaining. Okay, I will have a look. I want to speak with my assistant referee. Thank you.
Patrick Lambie was the youngest Springbok at the World Cup 4 years ago. Thought he'd scored a try in the second half against Australia in that quarter-final at the Cape Tin. Only quickly called back. (44 metres). No problem, as you'd expect, with the length. No problem either with the line. Well, there's celebrations from the crowd wearing the Springbok replica jerseys. But I'll tell you what, the punching of the air is not as enthusiastic as it might be. Whatever happens at the end of 80 minutes here, they will know they've been in a right contest.
I've been really impressed with Japan's physicality as well. We spoke about that they play with tempo, they're fit, they're very fast, but they've certainly mastered Africa in the breakdowns and the tackle area, and they really have tackled everything that's come down their channel today.
Sia Khaleesi comes on for Peter Steptoe. And there is Khaleesi. Plays for the Stormers down in Cape Town. Lambie. Poor pass. Jesse Kriel. Surrounded by cherry and white jerseys. He's done well, as Jesse Kriel. Very much the baby of this team, just 21. Look there at the counter-wrecking from Japan. That's Niakani. Berger still going. Really has an unbelievable engine on him. The clearance from Lambie.
It's interesting, Japan put 4 players back to cover the kick, waiting for the kick, because you can see their intent is to counter-attack. You know, you've got players like Leach, Matsushima, all these players waiting for the ball so that they can attack the Springboks again. Different approach in different teams.
Well, this is only South Africa's second ever match in England in a Rugby World Cup. The other was a close affair, the semi-final against Australia at Twickenham in 1999. South Africa losing that to Australia 27-21, the match of Stephen Larkham's extra time got goal. There are many people in South Africa who can remember exactly where they were when that goal was struck by Bernie Larkham.
South Africa now brought on Dupree and Pollard. I think Dupree's played a lot of rugby in Japan. He understands the game. He's been playing there with Suntory Goliaths for the last few seasons, and he'll bring a little bit of zip around that breakdown. And obviously,
as true as that is, Shane, he hasn't played much rugby anywhere for quite a while, though, has he? And now I think there's a bit of back chat coming from the South Africans.
You cannot say like this. Okay, next time yellow card. Yeah.
well, the threat there, the next infringement or penalty is going to be a yellow card, and rightly so. I think you know Japan are putting South Africa under pressure. They're giving penalties away quite frequently, especially their own half, and I'm surprised we haven't seen a yellow card yet. Anyway.
Khaleesi that time, the player penalised.
I penalised the 9 because not running away.
Jean de Villiers, just 4 hours of rugby this year. And if you think that 1 hour of that was playing in what was essentially a friendly match, played within the grounds of Victor Verster Prison. It's another famous landmark in South African history. Nelson Mandela's final walk to freedom from Victor Verster Prison there near Paarl. And Jean de Villiers played an hour there for Western Province in a Currie Cup warm-up game just a few weeks ago.
And he's played well today. He's carried the ball. You can see he's obviously captain. He's talking to his backs and his forwards. He's obviously fit enough. His jaw, his knee and everything else that he's had problems with over the last few months certainly seem to be not giving him much pain at the moment. I think perhaps the South African performance is the only thing giving him a bit of pain.
Well, there might have been 1 or 2 butterflies for Godamaru, but he fixed his focus there on the bottom of the ball, sitting on the tee, and struck firmly through the ball. 22 points apiece. We're into the last 20 minutes.
Advantage, carrying back. Advantage over.
The clearing kick from Tatakawa. Here's Kirshner. Matsushima under it. Great catch. The young man born in Pretoria.
Great take.
Tanaka kicks. Oh, and it's just got too much on it.
I think it was the right idea there by Tanaka. There was certainly no one back on the right-hand side of the South African half. Just a little bit too far to the left.
Yes, these are the two who were having fish and chips on the front last night.
Well, if they perform like that every week after fish and chips, I'd certainly I'd invest back home in Japan.
Yes, I think Tanaka just got hold of a bit too much of that. Maybe it was that second helping of mushy peas. Forward goes Adrian Strauss. Long pass out there. Here goes Jesse Krill. In comes Mbobo. Andre Pollard now on the pitch, by the way. There's De Jager. Fourie de Perea. Playing his first game of rugby since February. Look at Strauss bursting through. Adrian Strauss, on the occasion of his 49th international. It's not enough to raise a smile from the face there of Heineke Meyer, but there will no doubt be some relief.
What an impact. Obviously runs straight over the top of the Japanese defenders. He's also got a right step as well. Where did that come from? That's the last thing Matsushima would like to see coming down his channel. A big fella like this, coming straight at him, decides to put his right foot down and then step him and leave him on his backside. It's great play.
Well, Strauss was disappointed to miss out on the Springbok squad 4 years ago. This is debut in the World Cup, and he's got the try which may just save the embarrassment of South Africa. Andre Pollard adds the 2 extra points. Unstoppable.
Front rower shouldn't be doing side steps like that, I'm sorry.
That was very much the preserve of little fellas like yourself, wasn't it? Well, you haven't been gone long, but maybe the game's changing. Penalty to South Africa.
Hey, Green. I don't need your help. Thank you, but
It is remarkable to think that Japan haven't won a World Cup game for 24 years. Against Zimbabwe back in 1991. They've drawn a couple, but they've lost 21 times.
Well, if they perform like this for the remainder of the World Cup, you know, they'll be very unlucky not to have won a game. They've been exceptional today. They really have. They've made South Africa look very average. They pressurised South Africa in all aspects of the game. You know, for parts of this game, they've been a better team.
And don't forget, when Japan were awarded the next World Cup, there were 1 or 2 people saying, well, our Japan is a national team up to it. But I think we've learned over the course of the last 64 minutes that Japan are on the upgrade, and that is something of an understatement. Their performance here in Brighton has been remarkable. There goes Habana. Got out by De Priya. Macfield. Niakani spills it.
no way.
Like South Africa piling the pressure on now. You can see the Japanese defence creaking a little bit. The gaps are appearing. I think we all know what's coming here.
Brian Habana, South Africa's record try scorer. A member of the Toulon Galacticos these days. Diaga takes it low. Berger. Well read. The Japan defence were waiting for that.
I just don't think South Africa needed anything fancy there. I think if they'd just caught it down, controlled it, and driven on, you know, they had a good chance of scoring a try. I think they tried a little bit too much there.
Well, they really are playing with so much confidence, aren't they? Taken out there by Murphy. Got Amado, the fullback.
Still a dangerous area for South Africa here. On the 22. This is where the likes of Dupree, De Villiers come into their own backfield. Experienced players who just calm the team down, get into good positions, and then we'll know when to go for the kill and then finish off teams. And it's probably the point now where they just want to stay in Japan's 22 for as long as they can.
Japan have made the alteration at scrum half. Berger coughs it forward. Leach, well gathered by So. Once again, Japan know they have to be responsible for the next score, but it's turned over. Berger just drops his shoulder. Ludiaga.
Oosterhuis in there, just off his feet.
No, wait. For you.
Well, even if South Africa go away with 5 points at the end of this afternoon, they will know that every point has cost just about all the effort they have.
You can't underestimate as well how much this would have taken out of South Africa. It's been physical, it's been open, it's been full of tempo. It's been a real tough game for both sides, and you know, like you say, there's an experienced team in South Africa. I want to say experience, older, more mature. And how will that take its toll on the old bones and muscles?
Time off.
Well, if you haven't had enough World Cup action today, and it has been stunning, there's more to come. France and Italy following this from Twickenham. ITV4 for that from 7:15. And then you can catch all the highlights on ITV4 at 11 o'clock. It has been already a glorious first Saturday in the World Cup. Matsushima goes through to Goramaru! What a gloriously worked try!
Superb, absolutely superb. Matsushima hit a lovely inside ball on the shoulder, used his gas, and then just a simple pass to Goramaru to put him through.
Well, glorious in its simplicity. The timing of the run, though, from Matsushima. Goramaru on the end of it. Eddie's still believing, isn't he?
And why not? They deserve to be in this game. They need to keep believing, because there's times where you could think, well, South Africa are going to run away with this now. They put Japan under pressure, and Japan just bounced back every single time. And that try was just incredible. They worked it so well. The timing was perfect, and Matsushima hit the inside line there. Great inside option, and Goramaru just finishes it off, and now he's got the added pressure now of the extra 2 points to put it into a tie game.
He's done it. This World Cup has truly taken off.
South Africa 29, Japan 29.
Where's the number two? Number two!
What is Scotland going to think of this game and the performances by the two teams?
Scotland, they of course the other team in this pool, the one side not in action this weekend. Samoa and the United States on this ground tomorrow. 10 minutes. Japan are stripped. Well, every error is magnified. That's the hooker there, Shota Horie.
What a 10 minutes we've got. It makes you think as well, how much is this going to take out of Japan? They've thrown absolutely everything at South Africa today, including the kitchen sink, and they are a team really that will only get better as the tournament goes on. They'd be looking at games like Scotland and thinking, we could take these. We really could take these.
Well, South Africa have chucked the pry at them, the poiki, and Japan have just slung it back. There goes Pollard, ghosting through. Pollard within 5 metres. De Prea. Japan has stretched. The last 9 minutes. There's Khaleesi, the arm is out, the penalty's coming. Furi De Prea, Andre Pollard, just pondering a little too long. There's Strauss again, within a metre. Is this going to be the telling blow? Matt Field. Etzebeth Khaleesi. The referee is going to come back for the penalty.
Brian Abban on the far left, absolutely screaming at his players. He had acres of room there to go over in the left-hand corner. They decided to go to the right. He's not a happy man.
Well, we've got the boos and the jeers. There's clearly an element of irony to them, because what else would you do? Andre Pollard there. Tall, powerful, just 21.
It's a superb tackle by Matsushima there. He's come all the way from the left. I think Pollard thought he was in. He's taken him from the side there.
Yes, Matsushima earning just his 13th cap today. He's only 22. He's really grown over the last 2 hours. He's been one of the Japanese stars. Pollard makes it a 3-point lead.
This is what Pollard does. He takes the ball to the line, he takes defenders on, and he brings the 12 and 13 with him. You're going to see more opportunities for this Pollard going forward and trying to create mismatches and get through those gaps.
Well, there were a lot of people wearing those green and gold jerseys outside the ground before we started, and they were chatting and saying, what do you think, 30, 40? It's not turned out that way. The outcome still very much in doubt. We've got 7 minutes to go. The Box, the two-time world champions, lead by 3. The restart taken by Skultberger. Andre Pollard. Down the throat of Goromaru. Straight into the front row might there of Oosthuizen and Strauss. There's Matsushima again. Takes 2 men to get him down. There goes Thompson. They're coming back again, aren't they?
They certainly never give up, do they? They go behind and then they just switch the button again. They're so positive, they get in the good areas. And this is where South Africa have been giving away penalties all day long.
Well, the ball dislodged from the hands there of Leach, but I think it was knocked on by Luke Thompson.
I think Leach has been superb today as well. He's certainly led from the front, great captain. He's made so much meat of it when he's got the ball.
Well, tackles made at the moment. Japan have had to make 120. Compare that with the 65 for South Africa, and they have been worked hard.
Again, I think it just goes to show the fitness this Japanese team have. I think when you're tackling for so often in a game and you make all these tackles, it takes it out of you. It's so much easier having the ball in hand and going forward. But they've tackled well, they've defended really well, and when they've turned the ball over, they've created and they've done things.
Okay, both players. Work about stability. Stability.
Well, South Africa are rather like the boxer at the end of the heavyweight contest, who are just hanging on to their opponent, watching the clock as it runs down. South Africa desperate for the final bell. Can Japan land that knockout punch? The pressure really being applied there by Japan. Berger De Prea pleading at the referee. Monsieur Garces will have none of it.
Pollard's just going to kick this as long as he possibly can. All right, or high as he possibly can.
Yes, well, it was the 100-yard kick, wasn't it? 50 yards up, 50 yards down. De Prea. Well read there by Goramaru. They do have numbers out wide here. A little bit of space. Up towards halfway. 2 tackles missed by South Africa. Thompson. They're playing as if for their lives, the Japan. Hiwasa. Thompson again. There goes Hiwasa, the captain Leach.
So they're going to be very clever here and certainly make sure they don't give any penalties. This is an area which they've been poor all day.
The first time these countries have ever met. It's certainly been worth the wait. They're inside the 22. 1 try here, and it surely would be rugby's greatest ever shot. Hiwasa. That's so. Hiwasa again.
They just need a bit of patience now, ball keep.
Tatakawa that time. Here's Hiwasa, the replacement scrum half. Two and a half minutes to go. Another phase. That time it is Muffy, the former Tongan. Hiwasa again. On this time to Tamura. The injection of tempo. That was Maccabi. They're edging their way towards the try line. The alarm bells are ringing for South Africa. One turnover, could miss it here, could win it for South Africa. One missed tackle, could win it for Japan. Within 2 metres. The try line within touching distance.
Well, there's a penalty coming as well, so they've...
The arm is out from Jerome Garces.
Yeah, they've got to play, they've got to try and get over that white line. And
there's going to be a yellow card. South Africa will play this final minute with just 14 men on the pitch. It's Kuni Oosthuizen who's going off.
They've got to go for the try, surely, surely.
Japan are going to spin the wheel and see what it delivers. Well, Heineken trying to find somewhere to hide. It's the catch and drive. Are we going to see a Michael Leach special? Takeshi Kizu, he has the first task.
The whole of the crowd in the stadium are on their feet. This is incredible.
To describe South Africa as desperate at the moment would not be an overstatement. A century's reputation is on the line for the men in green and gold. The catch is successful. Here's the drive. They reshape, they reform. They're 3 metres from glory of Japan. Can they get it over?
There's a lot of bodies in there. They do well to see this.
Well, let's listen to Jerome Garces.
No, wait.
We got a glimpse of Hesketh's backside then as well, so sorry for that.
Yes, Jerome.
Rob.
Yes, sir.
Try yes or no. For me, I don't see the ball running on the field. But have a look about the first question. Try yes or no.
Okay.
So it's try yes or no. So there has to be something conclusive here. Well, Graham Hughes, the TMO, has the hopes of a nation. At his own mercy.
You can't even see where the ball is, unfortunately.
Well, we're going to see every angle. At the moment, we can't see the ball. And that won't be good news for Japan.
Can you... I want...
Jerome, yeah, go on.
Yeah. So, did you see the...
No, there is nothing clear at all.
Yeah.
It's going to be a scrum 5, red ball.
Well, it was the only call that could be made. And I think deep down, those men know it.
Who's going to fair feed?
Bigger scrum of Japan's lives, I think. The last scrum Japan had went very well. They need that platform now. I think we've probably seen Maffey picking from the sides, having to go at the line, and then a bit of patience, but they've got to win this scrum first.
It's the most significant scrum in Japanese rugby history. The next World Cup hosts have a chance here to cause the greatest rugby upset. There's the quick strike. The arms out for the penalty. So what do you do here? Do you take the 3 points? The draw would be mighty special.
Please don't ask me, Martin. Please don't ask me. They've got to go for the try, haven't they? Surely. Or they go for the scrum.
Brave by name, brave by nature. Well, I think she's probably just bought that shirt in the last 20 minutes.
Well, she's converted, I think, as are a lot of the fans here today. A lot of the neutrals are really pushing for Japan to do something special here.
Iwasa. There's the strike again. Coming around this side is Hesketh. It's going to be reset. It is the final play of the match.
Keep your eye out for Hesketh as well. I played against this fella in Japan. Very strong, very quick. You know, he beats the first defender quite often, and you can see him, he's sniffing around that blind side there. You get as close to that touchline as he can, and if Maffey picks up and has clean ball, we could see a try in the corner.
Yes, Kant Hesketh at the moment, just lurking behind the scrum. He's the replacement wing. He's hugely powerful, isn't he? So strong in the tackle. 82 minutes on the clock.
No stability. No. Stability, guys.
And don't forget, it may seem like a detail, but South Africa are down to 14. You can see there how Yanni du Plessis has come back. South Africa have had to sacrifice another player. Well, that's the image which crystallises the moment, doesn't it? Brighton has become the centre of the rugby world. That's the wonder of the World Cup. It's well disrupted by South Africa. Japan still have it. Here's Leach, the captain. Etzebeth it was who cut him down. There's Hiwasa. They're 6 metres away. Hiwasa again. Japan cannot afford an error.
Creel is screaming in the centre there for South Africa, for defenders to come round that corner.
They've got numbers out wide here, perhaps. The defensive cover is there. They still have it, Japan. There goes Leach, the captain. Oh, the tackle's high. Well, the referee, you can see how, and Salmi perhaps pointing there. The space out wide here for Japan. There's Hesketh. He's done it. The greatest moment in Japanese rugby history. The shot. Francois Lowe, utterly crestfallen. And you have to say, Shane, they thoroughly deserve it.
Completely deserved it, you know, from start to finish. They haven't let South Africa get away with anything. They've defended well, they've scored some great tries, and they've just kept believing right to the end. And, you know, I mentioned that man, Khan Hesketh. This is what he does week in, week out in Japan. He's a good player. He knows how to finish off a try, and when he's 5 yards from the try line like that, it'll take a good defender to stop him. Peterson tries, but he goes down low and gets in the corner. Japan have thoroughly deserved this win. Unbelievable.
Well, for Khan Hesketh, he'll be saying, you can keep your Olympic gold medals, you can keep your world heavyweight titles. I've just beaten South Africa.
Well,
Eddie Jones, he has been the architect. And these are the 23 men who've made it happen. This World Cup has been turned on its head by those in cherry and white. Hitoshi Ono, on the occasion of his 95th cap, there he is in the middle. Who says grown men don't cry?
You can see what it means to these guys. They've worked so hard today. It's probably the biggest 80 minutes of rugby they've ever had.
Japanese rugby has never had